what is our real estate criteria? I'm Nate, I'm the FitFutureMD. I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. Make sure you pick up that free copy of the fitness and nutrition plan in the description below, and let me know what you think about it. I'm also the owner of Ensorsale.com. Ensorsale is family. Together we can rise up from humble beginnings to inspire others with the messages on our t-shirts. Get you an inspirational t-shirt today. Right? I'm wearing one right now. Success is a habit. Okay? So, what is our real estate criteria? Well, it depends on which real estate you're talking about. You could talk about commercial, you could talk about residential, you can talk about apartment buildings, but basically for the gist of us, like, you have to figure out what your skill set is, right? Like, I can't get rid of asbestos by myself, like, so I'd have to pay extra stuff for that, right? I can't mess with lead joints and lead paint and, you know, any of that kind of stuff. So basically my criteria for residential real estate is 1980 and newer, right? I'm looking for a 3-2 or a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So I'm also looking for non-HOA neighborhoods, right? Because I don't want my neighbor to determine, you know, what kind of grass I have, what flag I fly, you know, that kind of stuff, right? Like, I'm also avoiding like condos where you don't really, you just basically are renting the airspace, right? You know, I want to at least own the land that my thing is on. So at a minimum, we're talking about a townhouse, right? And so now basically real estate has become where you basically have to put a lot more down for it to follow what is called the 1% rule. Okay. And the 1% rule is basically like the price of the investment times 1% will give you how much you have to charge monthly for that asset to make a profit. You know, if it's, you know, under a 10% interest rate, right? So basically right now, so you're talking about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, you know, in my area, you're talking about that being $300,000 now. So, but it's only going to rent between $1,300 and $2,000 a month, right? For that 3-2. So that means you'd have to pay $100,000 down if it's going to rent for $2,000 a month. That means for it to make money, you're going to have to put $100,000 down as a down payment, so that you're only borrowing $200,000 so that it cash flows, right? And then you also, you know, how many jobs in my area can basically afford $2,000 a month? Not as many as you would think, right? So then the ones that you start getting up to that level, you start saying, well, you know, unless those people just had terrible credit at some point, like they're pretty much going to be buying, or they're only here for a temporary amount of time. And what you really want when you're talking about residential real estate is to have a long-term tenant, you know, 5-10 years at least, you know, that consistently pays you, that's consistently going to be here, that loves it here. You know, you don't want someone that is transitioning from place to place, you know, every year or every 3 months, every 6 months. You know, you don't want somebody that can just get out the contract and be gone and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you don't really want people like that if you can help it, right? So these are some things to keep in mind with real estate. Like another thing I really think about in real estate is basically like what do I have to do to the real estate to make it livable, right? So paint, carpet, replace some toilets, hang some fixtures, replace the fans, replace the lighting. Obviously I don't want to deal with a brand new roof, right? But if sometimes that was one of the problems with the house that I live in right now, right, was it had a little leak in the roof by the chimney. So, but you can find people to help you replace that kind of stuff, like if it's outside of your skill level. But you just have to know, that, hey, that's outside of your skill level. So that's something you got to keep in mind. Basically, I'm looking for a pig that just needs a little bit of lipstick, right? Just a little bit of TLC, a little cleanup, a little paint, maybe some flooring, but to be honest, all that stuff is a lot of work. So just keep that in mind. Let's say this has basically been my real estate criteria for residential real estate. Commercial properties, I want them to be like less than 10 years old. I want them to have a long time left on their lease from who they are. So if it's like I want it to be at least a double net lease where I'm not taking care of anything under $1,000 that needs to be taken care of on the building. I'm not taking care of that. I want them to be paying the taxes and insurance, right, on stuff, right? So and then basically it's a hands-off deal for us, right? So that's kind of what I want commercially. Like you say, hotels, I want a bunch of units, right? And in a good area, and say same thing with apartments, you want a bunch of units, so that way you have basically protection if you don't have a few units rented, right? You're not carrying the property with your own money, right, type deal. But at the same time, you want to have enough of a down payment where it's very easily manageable, right? So obviously you want to be 80-90% occupied, but most places are not 80 or 90% occupied. That's changing down here in my area because so many people are moving here. They've just determined that North Carolina is the best state for businesses to move to. Research Triangle Park area, basically. Obviously where I'm from, Johnston County is the fastest growing county in the state. So that's obviously making it very difficult to purchase real estate with good margins. But let's say we're going into a recession, so businesses are going to be cutting back, and that's why we do it this way, so that we can survive in recessions. You want to make money when you can, but you also want to be able to survive any and all inflection points in the economy. So the market crashes today, you want to be able to still hold your property for the long term and be able to survive. So hopefully this helps you out, guys. Let me know what your real estate criteria is in the comments below. Pick up that free copy of the nutrition plan if you're interested, and let me know what you think of that, and shop at Ensorsale.com. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.